We provide a whole series of standard symbols in gCADPlus. If we go to Library, Plants, Standard, the Standard group, and then just scroll through here as I move my arrow key down on the keyboard, we come across the standard symbols that are present in gCADPlus. And in order to use those, you simply open them and then insert them into the drawing. And if I roll out just a little, we can pop them down. So here's one standard symbol. It's called UPlant symbol 18. This is another one, UPlant symbol 23. And we've been approached and asked for a movie that shows how to make those sorts of symbols that match the standard. The standard symbols can be manipulated in a number of ways. The most obvious is that if we turn off the symbol, a layer called LPLNT symbol, and that layer naming convention is an international standard. Let's turn off the symbol layer and look again at what we have left. We simply have a marker in the middle, a point marker, and then a single circle. So it's really quite small, but if you develop a drawing and use that symbol or any of these symbols in that group, and you want to show your construction team the layout and that they can plant from, all we need to do is turn off that layer and you get a very simple and easy drawing to print. Let's turn that layer back on again, and the same applies if you turn off that other layer that we've got in there. Remember we have, go to the layers, we have this layer called plant symbol and a layer called plant construction. So if we turn off the construction layer, now we get a much nicer looking drawing. So we've been asked, how do you make symbols like the ones that we've just inserted into this drawing? Well, we'll put this one up on the web at some stage and let's run through them. Let's firstly focus on the entities that you place on the construction layer. So if you're working in the metric system, you'd put a circle of diameter 1000 units on layer LPLNT construction. If you're working in imperial units, you'd make the diameter 3 units. So that symbol in the metric system is a meter in diameter, and then the imperial 3 foot, which are pretty similar. So the first thing you put onto your new symbol is a circle on that layer. On that very same layer, and in the center of the circle, put a point entity on the same layer. So if we, let me hide now, just temporarily, the symbol layer and just concentrate now on things. And here you can see I haven't quite got this right. I need to have all of these in here. Let me grab them now. They all need to be put on a layer L plant symbol. And I've missed another one there, L plant symbol. And that's fix that little thing up. So just concentrating now on, and we've missed our point layer. We need to put a point in here. So it's, what I'm hesitating about is that the point might also be on the wrong layer, and I might inadvertently have swapped that across. But let's do another one just to demonstrate anyway. We want to draw a point, and we would want to put it on the center of that construction layer and exit. But we also need to make the point, let's select it. We put the point in, but we want to make sure that under format in this file that we're going to use, the point styles are set to a plus sign through the point and 1.5% of window height. Now the reason for that is that as we turn off the plant symbol layer, we get that point. And the big useful thing here is that we can just spin and rotate the point symbol, but can see it stays square on. I'll just remove that because I was intending to make the symbol, and you can see I didn't quite get things in the right way. So on layer, to sum up, on layer plant construction, we put the circle, and in the center of the circle on the same layer we put the point marker. Now let's switch, and sorry again, let's turn off the construction layer and the symbol layer, back on again. So on the layer LPLNT symbol, a number of tips. The entities that are in here to make the symbol, the complex symbol, should consist solely of entities. Don't use blocks inside blocks. That's called nested blocks. So all the fancy symbols should be on that plant symbol layer. Set the entity line weight by layer. So if I pick that one, can you see it's the entity is set, as far as line weight is concerned, by layer here, and the line type scale for that entity I've set at 1. Remembering the entity color is set implicitly. Here's one where we've set the color to red 232, green 154 and blue 254. That's the true color, and in doing all of that, we're keeping the files so small. I've got this particular circle is also on that plant symbol layer, so there's not a lot in this area. What we now need to do, in order to make it in a block, I thought we'd removed everything from there. Maybe we didn't. Now we should be right. We want to make a symbol now that works with our standard. So let's grab, whoops, we need to turn on our symbol layer. We need them all on, not all off. There's a shorthand way of doing that. Click here, all use layers on, and that's a quick way to turn everything on. So in order to make a block that works the gCADPlus way, grab everything, and we'll copy it now, pop it down here, so it's the same size of the other symbols in, and let's make a new block. So we'll say create a block, new symbol. We'll give it a name. Now, really importantly, and a lot of you miss it, the pick point make the center of the symbol. Now the reason for that, of course, is that now as we copy that symbol, bang, 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 it's very easy to rotate the symbol. It's also very easy to select and size, scale, just pick in the middle and do that. So we like to rotate symbols around. Can you see it? Makes things look much more realistic. So we'll get back in, finish it off. Let's imagine we're sending something to the client, so the construction layer would be turned off, and there we are. One thing I would point out is that this polyline that's at the background here is color 225, 235. Although you could get perhaps a nicer effect by getting some sort of gradient type, some sort of linear or point gradient in there, it's better to if I wanted that to be a much paler color or a darker color, it's much better to go to symbol, select color, come into true color, and grab a sort of background color that is really, really, really subtle, and we'll go OK. And you should see a much lighter background now than we had down here. We could get the same effect by making it, putting transparency on. If I select it, I could come down here and make my transparency 100, but you find now you've just limited your use. You can't print that one to a high resolution PDF writer because you've added transparency. So it's best to set your faint color by choosing the correct or not correct, an appropriate colour using true colour. So we bring this back to 255 and we'll OK. The last thing I do then is to go into one of my drawings and just test this one out, see if you like it, see if it works the way you want it to do. So that's rather long-winded, but it's a way of, it's really a checklist on how to create symbols that you can use and that they will work in the gCADPlus way. In a later movie we'll show how to take that very same symbol and store it